And my name is Alex Hoppe. I'm I did an industry report on immersive media and its use in education. So kind of give you a background, my goal here is to kind of give you a quick overview of the iBook that I put together for my final project. So we'll take a quick background look at what immersive media is. We'll talk about the future and where we kind of got some info for that, and what hopefully is next in immersive media. So before we really dive into it, we need to kind of define what immersive media is, because it kind of is a catch-all and has been used in a variety of different ways over the years. And what I've defined immersive media as through the research and the literature research that I've done for this project is any technology that alters the user's reality. So that can be augmented reality, that's mixed reality, that's virtual reality. All of these, anything that lets the user kind of either change their reality themselves or places more information or changes their own reality. So this kind of little graph here is some examples that shows how immersive media can vary across the spectrums to be very interactive and not creating a whole new environment for them, or just creating a new environment where they are not able to interact with it with 360 videos, moving all the way up to highly interactive in an entirely new environment, like the virtual chemistry labs that are in place at NC State. So we looked at a wide variety of experiences that across the board here, which was great and was really fun to explore. So kind of a history where immersive media kind of began. The first VR headset was actually started in 1969, and it was this big apparatus. But when we think about VR, it didn't really begin until 1992 with the Cave VR system at the University of Chicago. And this was actually an application that allowed people to play with projections and use spatial computing in real time. So it's the first kind of real virtual reality. But if we kind of fast forward to where virtual reality and augmented reality started becoming big buzzwords in education, that's around 2009 when the AR toolkit started on web browsers and was in mobile applications. And then we had this big boom of different devices where every year it seemed like everything was going to revolutionize education. It's going to revolutionize education. We haven't quite seen it there yet because the price point's been too high. So now where we're at is we've got Apple, Android, Microsoft, Magic Leap, Oculus, Facebook, all these big players in virtual reality and immersive media pursuing different experiences, different techniques, which has kind of led to what we're kind of calling a renaissance in immersive media, and especially a renaissance in immersive media for education. So kind of looking at the current state, in addition to current research on immersive media, I also got the chance to interview 3 experts in the space who are right here in the triangle. Mike Wallace is a director of creative design at Delta at NC State and a producer and director of immersive content. Brian Moynihan was here at UNC. He's now at Lenovo as a global experience manager and kind of implementing VR studios in classrooms around the world. And Dr. Lucas Blair is here at RCI and was one of our intern sites as well, and he runs Lab 58 for immersive media. So these interviews are also included in my iBook as well, and you're more than welcome to take a look at those in there, take a listen to them. So identifying trends that are kind of emerging in immersive media, the big 3 that we settled upon was really presence, so kind of the feeling of being there, being in this new environment, existing in a new space, as well as natural or spatial computing, which is really just not computing so much with a mouse, but more with your gestures, your hands, your body, and the shapes and objects around in your own environment mixed with computer interaction. And finally, experiential learning, kind of the progression from memorizing content, memorizing the atoms, form bonds together, to actually feeling it with haptic feedback and being inside that chemistry, that molecule forming, and that kind of benefit for retention there. All of these trends kind of play out with some key benefits and challenges for immersive media. The benefits being that we're able to kind of create these unique experiences, right? Field trips have kind of gone down because of safety issues, because of cost in schools. But now with immersive media, we're able to take experiences that we weren't able to do even with the yellow school buses, right? They're more akin to Miss Frizzle rather than our traditional field trips, where we can actually go to Rome, we can go to the moon, we can go and see a volcano erupt, all within Google Expeditions or an Oculus headset, We can do that safely in our classrooms. In addition, there's a big safety component to immersive media as well. Stanford's football program started using VR for some of their quarterback training back in 2013, just to kind of keep injuries low on practice fields and be able to give them a leg up, because they could actually input film from previous games against their opponents into this VR environment. As well as experiential learning, which again, we talked about a little bit, in which a user can actually be in the space and be in this environment, which promotes this idea of experiencing and improves the memory and retention. It's been shown in studies to increase learner retention. But there's still a lot of challenges too. I mean, they include the price point, right? Even with the new headsets that are coming out and the head-mounted displays that are cheaper and more powerful, it's still a really high cost for teachers and schools to get a new set of classroom devices in their classroom for their students. There's also kind of a content lack. It's hard to find accessible and reviewed content for students. In addition, we still have some accessibility issues, even though we are creating some experiences that address these and really bring in some more viewpoints for accessibility. VR is not always accessible to students who have visual impairments or get vertigo, and that needs to be something that's addressed as well. But despite all this, I still think that we are in kind of a renaissance of immersive media, and we see that in programs such as Delta, Cool, the Carolina Office of Online Learning, and different instructional design companies that are popping up to kind of produce this content for us. So where's the future going to go? Well, it's hard to say. We have years and years of us kind of predicting where it's going to go in popular culture, in the education space. But one thing for sure is that we're creating new experiences that incorporate new viewpoints and new environments and new learning experiences every day. And we're seeing that with the virtual labs at NC State, the virtual biology labs of Labster VR, as well as some innovative AR applications in NC State's feed mill as well. And we won't know until these are really that successful. We have good preliminary research on a lot of it, applications of it in the classroom so far, but we need to see a little bit more until we create them. So the future is kind of wide open, where I want to really encourage educators and universities and schools to kind of invest in this. So my ask is to invest in creating this content, invest in exploring it, and bring it to your universities and schools like Delta and Cool is here at UNC and NC State. And finally, my ask here is really just to kind of create your reality. And I hope you can download my iBook and dive deeper. And I look forward to discussing this with you in the breakout room. Thank you.